everybody? How are you today? And welcome to the latest edition of the True Media Live podcast. So great to have you with us for this Thursday, the 14th day of December, the year 2017. And of course, I am Andrew L. Perry. You guys are unbelievable, you know that? As always, coming to you live and at you from the busy streets of Brooklyn, New York. As today, I'm inside the campus of Long Island University as I chat to you what is going on in the world of sports. We have a lot to dive into as far as the world of sports is concerned. I want to welcome my audience who is listening in Spreaker.com. Thanks for tuning in every weekday from Monday through Fridays. But we'll begin talk about the show. We'll get my thoughts on. But before I get into all the sports, I just finished not too long ago. I just finished listening to Mike Francesa, second to last show, because tomorrow is his last show, and I gotta be honest with you. It feels like something. It feels like, before every time I listen to, before or after the podcast, okay. Every time I did the podcast, every time I finished listen to the podcast, I turn on to Mike Francesa to see how he articulate and how he shows does it and stuff like that. And honestly, him and Mad Dog are the reason why I want to have my own radio show. They're the reasons why I want to have my own radio show. But I wanted to be a broadcaster for a long time. I wanted to be a broadcaster a long time anyway. But the point is, the thing I have learned. I started this podcast back in late June during the NBA Finals when the Warriors and the Cavs was going at it, my thing. If you listen to it from the beginning, I stutter a lot. I didn't articulate. I say things on top of my head and just say it. Well, I learn as I do this. That's not how it goes. That's not how things goes. You have to watch the show. You have to articulate what you're talking about. The main thing is your audience have to know what you're talking about, and that's the thing I love for Mike and the Mad Dog. There was a success overnight. It was years. They grown up a little bit. I watched the 30 for 30, which was amazing, and it was amazing. They did a really good job of taking. I'm trying to find a word. I'm trying to find the words I'm looking for. Trying to find the words that fit. They've done a really good job of getting personal with Francesa and Russo and talking about how to get to where they are today. And even when they split, they went. Even though Mad Dog leaving WFAN in 2008, they still continue to influence men's life. In a male life, and some females too, and it wasn't your ordinary sports show, and it's because of Mike Francesa, which brings me to Francesa, by the way. Without Mike Francesa and Christopher Mad Dog Russo, podcast, let's be honest, sports podcasts don't exist. And sports talk radio obviously don't exist. So Mike Francesa is not only a pioneer, a huge impact in the sports media. Sports media. One, he was the first non-player to be an analyst to do. I remember him doing the road to the Final Four. He did the NFL Today. He worked with Brent Musburger, who just retired last year. And Brent Musburger had a long career. And still going strong. He could still going strong, by the way. Let me say this. Having a longevity in the media world, I see for the past, in this generation, it hits. It speaks volumes. It really speaks volumes. And I know Mike Francesa could care less about being liked and being interested in being like who like him and stuff like that, or the popularity. But he set the tone. Him and Mad Dog. And honestly, I could go on and on and on about how much he have an influence in my life, but he really has, and I can't thank him enough. And I will love. Honestly, when I get a chance, I will give him a call on his final. I will hopefully get a chance to give him a call on this final show. And honestly, I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him on WFAN. I know I'm gonna hear his voice again, but I'm gonna miss him a lot because I remember listening to him in the car. My uncle listened to him, and he's one of the reasons why I listen to I listen to WFEN is Joan Evan and Mike Francesa for the last 10 years, I should say. Last 8 years or so. Last 7 or 8 years. Last 5 years, to say the least. And they have a huge influence in my life. So Mike, I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. But now let's go into the sports. And as far as the Thursday night football goes, this is clearly the last Thursday night football game of the year, and this game is unwatchable. There's no other way to say it. I was trying to find words to talk about it, but the Broncos had the number one defense in the NFL. The Colts are the Colts. What can I say? This Colts team is going nowhere. This Colts team, two teams that's unwatchable, to say the least. The Broncos defense is still the best defense in the National Football League. They haven't showed it because of their record, but because of their quarterback who stunk up the joints every chance they get. And yes, they shut out the Jets who showed no life. And barely didn't show up. But outside of that, this game is really unwatchable. And what do you want me to say? Okay? This team is probably the most disappointing team in the NFL, obviously. And like I said, the Colts are the Colts. There's no other way to say it. And I feel bad for Chuck Pagano, but at some point, don't be surprised if the owner of the Colts start firing and start looking for a new coach, because it looked like the Colts will need to look at a new direction, because what do you have? Because so far, that Andrew Luck, and it's not his fault, battling injuries left and right. What can you say about it? And speaking of injuries, a quarterback that's injured, what happened to Carson Wentz is really damaging for the NFL. really damaging for the NFL. To torn your MCL and miss the rest of the year after your team came back from our adversity to having the type of year they had last year and to not get home field, to not only probably get home field advantage, but not gonna play in the playoffs. Excuse me. Is really damaging. And speaking and also for Ryan Shazier, he's still battling. For what I heard from what I've heard is that he's still battling. He's still coming from injury. So he's still battling injury. He's still continuing rehab. He's still remaining in hospital, but he's gonna do rehabbing, which is a good thing. And the Knicks is playing the Nets, so let's see how the Knicks. Let's see who's going to get a second winning streak. And on that note, that's all I have really on the Drew Mania Live podcast. Well, tomorrow I'm going to have Football Friday. Tomorrow we have plenty to talk about as far as the NFL is concerned. 2 weeks, as we are literally 2 weeks left into the football season. For more information about my show, follow my show on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And you're always welcome to listen to my show on Spreaker.com. Until then, this is Andrew Perry, always saying to you, Shalom, let peace go with you, and I'll talk to you in the next Drew Mania Live. So long, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday. So long, everybody.